I think we're live. Let me double check this. Yep. Looks good. Okay, how do I... Sorry, I am an inexperienced streamer. How do I see if I'm actually live? Okay. I'll give it a second for a few people to pile in. Yeah, the mount music. The golden worm in a pot does that. It is the most epic worm in a pot. And it does a little squeaky. Hi, Swilly. There. Observe some golden scree. This is what you guys really showed up for. It's just so golden. Okay. Well, I see Swilly and Rahela here. Let's get started. Look at all these poor fellow sufferers. Resistance troops have received intriguing information from Werlyt. How is the sound balance, guys? It's a little... Okay, good. Very good writing. Hi. Yes, really, I just read the near side story thing last night, and this is going to be a contrast. I wasn't expecting to see you here, considering all that's been happening about Eorzea of late. Still, if you've a mind to assist us, we'd like to share the latest developments in Werlyt. How about I don't? Hi, Fizz. And as luck would have it, here comes the ideal person to explain the situation. Thanks, I'll take it from here, says... Oh, Monago, no! Go away! Run! I'm glad to see you looking so well, Olivia. Let's see. I could call her Zeth. I can't, though. It's my squirrel mug! I need a bit of cuteness in my life if I'm going to sit through Werlyt. Yes, it certainly has. I haven't seen you around Ralga's Reach much lately. Baldur, excuse me. Anyone would think you're trying to avoid me. Dude, I turned in, crafting weeklies to her, like, just last week. Less than a week ago. But as much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I'm afraid I've got some serious business to discuss. Baldur's Beach, yes, really. Following the liberation of Turncliffe, it seems that people of Werlyt also have their hearts set on freeing themselves from the grip of the Empire. Good for them. Like-minded citizens have rallied under the banner of Werlyt revolutionaries, and they aim to depose the 7th Legion that currently occupies the city. Their ranks include many former conscripts, and between them they possess no small amount of combat experience. Baldur... I rearranged my desk earlier, he didn't like it. The only thing they lack is someone to lead them. Wait... What?! I'm reading this wrong! After much consideration, they decided to turn to none other than Gaius Balesar. Why would they do... What?! No! No! That's gotta be a typo! What?! Of course, many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, and many did, but despite desperate times call for desperate measures. You're not that desperate! Desperate times call for desperate measures is like Ilberd summoning a primal, not, let's put the guy who just conquered us in charge of getting unconquered. What?! They have been... What?! This is a practical joke! Okay. His reputation as the goddess speaks for itself, and as most Ala Mhigans will attest, he was far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, the Mad King Theodoric, or his successor Xenos, for that matter. Oh, that does not say very much. Also, he was the one who conquered them in the first place. Like... Okay, Theodoric was kind of nuts, and so was Xenos, but two bad things don't make another thing right. It's... Nago, I told you to run! She's gonna join- we're having a class action lawsuit. Every NPC who's been wronged by this narrative is gonna sue the Empire. Yeah, Xenos was only there at the tail end after we killed Baelsar. Like, how do you think that wall got built? Like, I keep hammering on that one, but it's called Baelsar's Wall. I think it was in 1.0 or one of the lore books, it's like, yeah, bazillions of Ala Mhigans died building this stupid wall for him. It's like, what? They forgot. They just straight up forgot. And many Ala Mhigans will agree, it's like, okay, especially this character, which is why I'm bringing this character, actually, is he spent 20 years trying to kick Gaius personally, Gaius Baelsar, out of Ala Mhigo. That was like... the whole point! Oh my gosh. But most importantly, Gaius was the one who led the invasion of Werlyt in the first place, so who better than him to take it back? What?! After accepting their offer, he requested the delivery of additional arms and provisions from the Ala Mhigan resistance. Just the other day! Earlier today or yesterday in, Pisaccord, we were talking about how, gosh, what were we talking about? Something relevant to this. Yeah, we were talking about how how Ala Mhigans or Ironworks employees might feel having Gaius show up as a good guy, and now they're like, yeah, let's put him in charge. Nothing bad will happen. Nago, you've been tempered. You need to go see Alice about a pork seat. This is just absurd. I saw a really bad take on Twitter once where someone was like, Gaius is such a good conqueror or whatever. He didn't do anything wrong. He conquered Ala Mhigo without firing a shot. It's like, yeah, he cheated. He didn't even give him a chance to fight back. Yeah, please get the pork seeds. I read this correctly. This is not a typo. I am not dreaming. They decided to turn to none other than Gaius Baelsar. Many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You're not that desperate. His reputation as a legata speaks for itself. As most Ala Mhigans would attest, he was far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, the Mad King Theodoric, or his successor, Xenos. But most importantly, he was the one who led the invasion of Werlyt in the first place, so who better than him to take it back? I said before that Werlyt was some of the worst fiction I've read. Unquestionably. Like, the whole point of getting unconquered is to not have Gaius in charge of you anymore. Gosh. I need to put the pork seeds in charge. Yeah, this is just insulting. There's a reason I went as ninja and this happened. But we've got our hands full dealing with the Telephilophagus, whatever those things are. As do the rest of our allies in Eorzea. But we'll do what we can. When my comrades see to the preparations, I've been assigned to meet with him in person. Nago, run! I was wondering, would you accompany me to Tarkov? Like, yeah, because I'm the only one with any sense in my head right now. Thanks, Olivia. To be perfectly honest, coming face to face with a black wolf is a rather daunting prospect, even if he supposedly turned over a new leaf. He actually said, turned over a new leaf! That's, when I was a kid, I used to read the Rover Boys a lot, because that's the kind of person I am, I guess. But there was this bad guy who, at one point, decided to turn over a new leaf, and I thought it was the cheesiest, dumbest thing. All he did, all that, Baxter, whatever the Rover Boys bad guy was, all he did was, like, swindle people out of their inheritances. He didn't conquer anyone. But he kept turning over a new leaf, and I thought it was so funny, so the fact that they're using that same term. Anyway, I'm sure having you there will make a world of difference. Yeah, I'm gonna punt Gaius off a cliff. Yay. I told you guys all about my backstory with Olivia, where Gaius executed his mom, personally. Yeah, that was a gonna punch Gaius. I believe you're acquainted with our escort. Yes, let him know when you're ready to get going. I am not ready to get going. I'm going to just pick up Nago, throw her over my shoulder, take her right back to the Rising Stones, and say, Alice, we need a Porksy right now. I have a Gaius Primal tromping around. That's only explanation. Some unhappy conscript who thought that Gaius was the best thing in the world. Summoned him as a Primal. Hi, Baldur. Yeah. Dialogues. So I'm gonna turn the volume down a change, actually. Aneurysm. I mean, Werlyt gives me, like, it's aneurysms, APS, aneurysms per second. Another trip to Turncliffe, is it? If we must. Off we go. Yeah, I heard... So all I've heard about this going in is that it sucks and I will hate it, especially at the beginning, you guys are right. And, I didn't say as much. You bet I didn't. And there are some wacky sound effects, and someone gets squished or popped or something. I expect nothing. Oh, look, it's Gaius. Oh, here's a revolutionary commander. We're just gonna take orders from Gaius now. Some good outfits, though. Dude, is that new armor? I don't know if I've seen that before. No? I think I have. Maybe it's a recolor. I have to look that up. Well, it's been a long time coming, but finally, Werlyt will throw off the shackles of Imperial rule. Sure, well, kid. Many of my comrades were dead against having Gaius Balesar of all people leave the charge, but as I always say, if you want a job done properly, hire a professional. After all, he's already conquered Werlyt once, so I'm certain he'll be just as successful a second time. This is a joke! I'm sorry, I have to Twitter this because this is the worst thing I have ever seen. This is worse than Monogos. I have to all caps about this. Pardon me for a moment here. Where's Firefox? I've got a spoiler thread here somewhere. How is this real? Like, it was bad before, but how is this a real thing that's happening? A big song and dance number about the Garland invasion. Yeah. Alright, Gaius. Gosh. In Lotro, there's a emote where you can slap someone with a fish, and I super need that right now. Gaius Balesar, I presume. her tribe was big enough to have 2 Noons before Gaius came along, and now they're just like a tiny speck of a tribe. So she should know. I come bearing the Ala Mhigan Resistance's official reply to your request for aid. Does it realize I get stuffed? I see, you have my thanks. Does this mean we can finally make our move? With the assistance of the Ala Mhigans, we'll soon have sufficient arms at our disposal to stand a chance at victory. But lest we forget, the 7th Legion has been conserving its strength thus far, and we must be prepared for severe casualties should its full might be brought to bear. So here's the thing. If Gaius wasn't here, if, like, the Werlyt resistance dudes had just asked the Ala Mhigans for help, this would all make perfect sense, and Nago would be a great representative, and she would come along and be like, yeah, let's go help these other people throw off Gaius Belsar. And it would be great. But no, we just focus on Gaius and put him in charge of, they even said it, conquering Werlyt a 2nd time. That insult to urine. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is real. If our lives must be the price of freedom, we will pay it willingly. Yeah, we've been over this. Olivion has been over this. Olivion has spent 20 years going over this. Oh, it's a Vober armor. I knew I'd seen it. Let me be clear. We Ala Mhigans have not forgotten that it was you who led the invasion of our homeland. The blood of our fallen loved ones is on your hands. Please, please. Is he gonna apologize? Is he gonna apologize? Nope, he did not! Even so, the people of Werlyt chose you to lead the revolution, and we will honor their decision. I only hope we will not come to regret it. Okay, that's the most sane thing anyone said yet. He didn't even apologize! As do I. He could have said, yeah, sorry about that population dip we took over the last 20-so years. Should I be found unworthy of their trust, I shall submit to their judgment and whatever that may entail. So he's promising to do good going forward, but he still hasn't even acknowledged, even though it was thrown right in his face, that he did wrong in the past. I'm picking nits, but golly, this is bad. She's a cute cat girl. I love her. She's smart and she's good, and we should have gotten more of her. And gosh, when Fordola was in the trailer, I was like, she better not be in Werlyt. And I was happy that she was not. But then they brought Nago in instead. God. Gosh. Forgive me, but we might we return to the task at hand. First, I would like to discuss the transportation of supplies from Ala Mhigan. Okay, just keep Gaius away from them. It's like the llama whatever meme. That kills people, Carl! This way, if you please. Yeah, just like the Garlands did for 20 years. This is so weird. Once again, I prepare to lead an army into Werlyt. The irony is not lost on me. Gosh, Yokotaro would do so good with this. It is a cruel twist of fate that these people, so desperate from years of oppression, should turn to their conqueror for salvation. Stop this! What? For most of my life, I believed that only the Empire possessed the strength and wisdom to lead mankind, and only through great sacrifice could civilization hope to thrive. Okay. That is an accurate thing that he has said. And so I led the conquest of Eorzea, forcing the doctrine of Garlemald upon the ignorant and uncivilized. In every territory I sought out those with the potential for greatness, without regard for one's birth or circumstance, that they may serve the Empire. Okay, he's acknowledging what he's did. Is he going to say he was mistaken? Because if he does, that's going to be actually a huge leap forward. I mean, we just took 12 leaps back, but you can take 12 back, 1 forward, and that's only 11 leaps back. If he actually acknowledges that what he did in ARR was not a good thing to do, he's on the verge of it, guys. But there are those such as Valens who see being born Garlean as a virtue in itself, one above all others. To think that a monster such as him should be granted the position of Legatus and everything that entails, it makes my blood boil. And he did not! He came so close! So close! We took 12 leaps forward, and then he inched a few steps. 12 leaps back, and then inched a few steps forward. He was so close to saying, and I was wrong to do that, and I want to make things better, or and that didn't have the results I expected. He didn't even go such devastation was not my intention. He has more acknowledgement of his mistakes in Pretoria! Hi, Baldur. And he's still apparently completely unaware of all the, I don't know, murder and stuff that was going on in Ala Mhigan. Okay, one more. This stream is gonna be long, guys. Forward and back. Forward. Hey, Baldur. Oh, he's sitting in his cat bed now. Okay. Forward and back. Valens brings shame upon our homeland and makes mock of the ideals it once stood for. By my hand he shall pay for his foul crimes. Look, he is still on about the Empire. He's not saying the Empire was a mistake or something. He's saying that Valens is a bad representative of it. So he is conquering Werlyt a second time in the name of the Empire. Of making the Empire look good? Is that what's going on? Oh, Olivion's having a nightmare and Ishol is gonna kick him awake. We are running out of time, guys. We have to go after her. Sorry, I'm having allergies, guys. I am allergic to this plot. There's something I would show you, but not here. Come with me. Where are we going? Can I read my note here? No, I can't. Yeah, it's somebody's PTSD dream. That's what it is. So it's just safe for them. Why did Allie have to keep all this a secret? Keep this all a secret. We could have helped her. Maybe she doesn't trust Gaius because she has a brain? Yeah, the town is just really pretty. I like the little dolphins. You must keep this to yourself. I do not want the soldiers to think I am being distracted by personal matters. This letter was found in her room. Is she running off on a suicide mission? Yeah, she is, according to the soundtrack. Dear Father, I am sorry for leaving without saying goodbye, but the thought of Alfonso suffering alone is more than I can bear. Yeah, suicide mission. For his sake and for the freedom of Werlyt, I have decided to take matters into my own tiny hands. I know of a way to save them, a way to end it all. I have to seize this chance before it's too late. My mind is set. Please do not try to stop me, Father. Yeah, the big twist is that she's going to be the one piloting Diamond, isn't it? That's the big twist. The days we spent together were the happiest of my life, and no matter what happens, nothing can take that away from me. With all my love, Allie. Yeah, she just get out a crap life. She's heading for the 7th Legion stronghold in Werlyt. I am certain of it. Taking matters into her own hands? She must be planning to take control of one of the weapons. Shocking turn of events. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilize our forces and save Allie and Alfonso. Yeah, Alfonso, if he manages to be conscious for it, and Gaius are going to fight over who gets to drive the murder bot. Decided to the orphanage and decided he was their father. I think the latter. He must have like popped in and brought them cheap, crappy toys sometimes. And her life was so horrible that getting a cheap, crappy toy from a dude that she barely knows is probably the highlight of her life. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilize our forces and save Ala Mhigan. I want nothing more than to save them, but I cannot ask the Werlyt revolutionaries to risk their lives to rescue 2 Imperial soldiers. No, but you can conquer them! Gosh. In any case, if we were to rush into battle without adequate preparation, the 7th Legion would tear our partisan army to shreds. And as capable a warrior as Ala Mhigan is, if he were to charge headlong into the heart of the enemy, he would be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. Ala Mhigan's like, yeah, I'm used to it. It's happened before. Been there, done that, lost half my face. If you don't do something, Ali and Alphonse are as good as dead. I know, Severa, and so did Ali when she wrote that letter. Returning alive was never part of her plan. Oh, how shocking! Bottling. Yay. Can you hear me? I'm in Werlyt, just outside Castum Colonum. All hells have broken loose. There was an enormous explosion, and through the smoke and flames I saw what appeared to be another weapon. At this rate, the entire... Sorry for the sound of that. Confound it, we have lost the signal. This must be what Ali spoke of in her letter, a way to end it all. Alphonse and the others were planning this from the beginning. Yep. To bring the weapons project to completion and use it to free Werlyt from the Empire, even at the cost of their own lives. See, these kids just doing this on their own, it'd be kind of like babies trying to be Ilberd. You could have a seed of a good story there. But nope. Gotta put Gaius in charge. If the revolutionaries were to hear that a weapon has been unleashed upon the Imperial headquarters, they would see it as a perfect opportunity to strike. If it's running amok, it may not distinguish between our allies and the Imperials. A large force would draw too much attention, but 3 of us should be able to get close enough to it, close enough without it noticing us. Shadowbringers music is good. Come on, guys, have an idea. Oh, Logan's gonna have an idea. Yes, that should work. Yes, nothing should work. No one said anything. I cannot allow it. This is my burden to bear, and I shall bear it alone. Yeah. Yeah, he gets put in charge, and the first thing he does is start concealing information. Oh, I'll have you know my record for surviving dangerous missions is impeccable so far. I mean, he did get killed. Heidelin wasn't having it, but it happened. He has a great track record for coming out alive, not for not dying. They're especially funny for Ala Mhigan, too. Ala Mhigan has always come out alive. You can't say he's always survived, but he has always come out alive. Very well, quoth Gaius. For the time being, I will have the revolutionaries stand by and await my signal. An opportunity to reclaim Werlyt may yet present itself, but we must first be allowed to remove the threat of this new weapon. No, all these kiddos, looking at church chat here, all these kiddos were Gaius' secret project, and he told no one. For the time being, I will have the revolutions. Oh, I already read that, okay. Severa, have Sid ready the G-Warrior. Understood. Sid's just taking orders now. Mnago's just taking orders. Gosh. Nero thinks nothing of this Gaius because this is not the real Gaius. This is Imperial propaganda. The real Gaius died. Once your preparations are complete, let us reconvene outside the... Oh, this is going to unlock the fight pretty soon, isn't it? Gaius probably kept these kids a secret because he knew that if people found out, they would be like, No. He doesn't want anyone setting a good example for his little frontline soldiers. Oh, here's the milkman. How wonderful it is to see you again, my dear. I was beginning to think you weren't coming back. He really does look like that character from Shrek, though. I think I watched Shrek like once when it first came out on VHS. The character with the little Knave of Hearts haircut. Yeah, Lord Farquaad, I think his name is. In my impatience, I may have vented my frustrations on that brother of yours. I do hope you'll forgive me. Gosh, I love your sound effects, they're swirly. Lord Valens, you mentioned before that the previous weapons were merely prototypes used to gather combat data within their cores. Yes, very good. I see you were paying attention after all. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, the primals they absorbed and the data they accumulated will serve as a singular purpose. I think this little kid does have a brain, she's just not using it properly. Like, she's smart, she comes up with good viable ideas, but she's just so warped by all this that she can't, like, think out of the box. You see, I think how come he hasn't killed this? How does he know he's killed this guy yet? He's so scummy. I think that what's going on there is that's why he surrounds himself with small children who can't kill him. Because if he had grown-ups, they would just cut him open. That's my theory. At least I don't think whoever wrote this actually thought any of this through. Alright. The completion of my masterpiece, the diamond weapon. Gosh. But while you and your siblings were able to retrieve the necessary data from the ruby weapon before Gaius and his lackeys arrived. Yep, I'm Gaius's lackey now. Sapphire and Emerald were handed to the enemy on a silver platter. Those worthless curs failed to meet even my exceedingly low expectations. Whoopee cushion stomp, yeah. I wish that the Twitch chat would be preserved in the YouTube upload for posterity later, because these sound effects are perfect. As detailed in my report, I took it upon myself to infiltrate Gaius Velsar's band of rebels and reclaim the data. You know, she's double-crossing. I don't know who she's actually double-crossing. Why is he doing this? I don't know who she's actually double-crossing, but she's clever. She's clever, she's just not wise. Yes, you have done well, my dear. My engineers have already finished feeding it into the diamond weapon. By Mel Brooks himself in the movie, yeah. Then all that remains is for me to assume my role as pilot and for you to release my brother and the rest of our compatriots, as per our agreement. See, she's smart in that this plan would work, but she's stupid in that Milkman's not going to uphold any agreements. Of course, a handful of savages is a small price to pay for your remarkable talents. Even though the weapon project's revolutionary technology allows even an untrained pilot to fight with the skills of a veteran soldier, only the truly gifted can draw out the potential of the synthetic arasite. In addition to their physical attributes and combat prowess, I require unwavering loyalty before I can even consider entrusting a candidate with one of my creations, and you are everything I desire. He's a creep. I'm honored that you regard me so highly, Lord Valens. However, in return for my continued cooperation, I wish to propose an extra condition to our arrangement. I request that the people of Werlyt be given full imperial citizenship and the right to self-govern. That's a reasonable request. Like, it's not my goal, it's not Monago's goal, but it is a reasonable request from her perspective. My, how very bold of you, and quite astute at that. Yes, I could grant the people Werlyt citizenship, if I so desired. Unfortunately, a mere legatus such as myself is in no position to simply relinquish control of imperial territory on a whim. Come now, we both know that the weapons are but a means to an end. Your true intent is to march on the capital and claim it for yourself, correct? Oh, the Garlean Civil War. Great, it got dragged into Werlyt. Now I have to actually do Werlyt to know what's going on. Once you have taken the throne, one small territory would seem a fair reward for those who played a vital role in the ascension of Emperor Valens. Gosh. Versus Xenos. Gosh, yeah. Him and Xenos. I mean, Xenos would just stab him, and then the story would be over, and then Xenos would say that it was boring and wander off to go find the warrior light. I say, for someone so sweet and innocent, you certainly drive a hard bargain. Very well. If it's Werlyt you want, it's yours. I'll soon have no need for this stinking backwater province anyway. He has no appreciation for those little dolphin statues. And what about my brother? Ah, yes, Alwick, or was it Alfred? Whatever his name is, you needn't worry. I've made special arrangements for him. He'll be perfectly safe, provided you uphold your side of the agreement. Excellent. Now let's get you aboard the diamond weapon, shall we? Ah, one step closer to my coronation. Everyone look at my cute squirrel mug because it's better than anything on the screen. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Come on, little lizard. I know this isn't what Father would have wanted, but it's the only way. Please forgive me. What would Father have wanted, though? I mean, he was just gonna put them in the weapons and stick them on Eorzea. Oh, there it is. Diamond weapon. It looks just like the emerald weapon, but painted white. I'm sure there are some differences I'm not noticing because I'm not Gundam brained. Initiating the synthetic Arosite system. All sensors activated. So far, so good. Diamond weapon, codename Xenos. Commencing activation sequence. Oh, how shocking! It's Xenos! I feel the internal. I feel like I did see it elsewhere in Eden. Yeah. Behold perfection itself. Milsandia, Recon, and Rex gave their lives. She's like, my turn with the dead orphan button! That others may live without fear. The Arosite is taking hold. I'm just glad that you didn't have to go through this, Alphonse, but you'll have to go on without me. You and Father must still work together to... Ah! I'm sorry I can't be there at your side. This is the only way. You know, this is the same exact plot twist as the last one, that it's a different kiddo than expected driving the weapon. And since they're interchangeable, that's not a real plot twist. Like, I was expecting the cheap plot twist to be that it wasn't Xenos, because Xenos wasn't a good one for the weapon, as was covered. And they were gonna beat up, will it be Xenos? And then no, it'll be this other dude. But no, it just went with Xenos after. I can't even bother with a half-ass plot twist. What's that, my dear? Is something the matter? The diamond weapon is mine. Your tyranny ends here, Valens. Yay. I forgot the music's actually really good. if it is Xenos, I'm kind of interested to see what the mechanics are going to be like, because he has some pretty Xenos-y mechanics. I don't remember him shooting lasers, though. Lowborn filth, if you think your little performance has fooled me, you are sorely mistaken. What are you waiting for? Shut it down! Yes, my lord, transmitting deactivation signal. She hacked it, didn't she? Nope! Nope! Gosh! Okay, maybe she's not that smart. She tried. It's not responding. Okay, so we are gonna get another big shopping plot twist where everyone's gonna be jockeying for the dead orphan button. Ha ha ha, that insolent whelp had me worried for a moment. Yeah, she really shouldn't have warned him. You'd think that she would have, like, snipped the wire on the off button. Bring her to me alive, even if it means damaging the machine. When I am through with her, she will beg for death. Gosh. Like, she starts showing some good glimmers of intelligence, misdirected because, I mean, circumstantial. She doesn't have the context to be able to think smart thoughts. She's brainwashed. No, I can't let it end like this. Milisandia, Recon Rex, guide my hand. You know, we could have, in Twitch chat, we could have gotten rid of Gaius before Praetorium even ended. At the end of that one little fight, before he goes and gets in his fursuit, in his Gundam, Ultima weapon, sorry. He just kind of turns around and walks away, and we stop shooting when he turns around. I'm like, we could have saved ourselves the entire Werlyt arc. Look, one time I was in Praetorium, and he got in the Gundam, and a Puggy said that the Ultima weapon was his persona, and I cannot unsee it. Gosh, Four Lords was amazing, though. It was so good. The little turtle, like, going and trying to warn the people about the earthquake, but he can't because he's a little turtle. Anyway, carrying on. Alphonse, wherever you are, lend me your strength. Aw, little glitter tears. What? Combat sample ready. Initiating Overmind. Subject name Bzzzt. Okay, that is a plot twist. What's she gonna do? Overmind? What is that? She didn't even know? She didn't even know about the dead orphan button? What? She didn't even know? This is ridiculous. How can... This can't be. It's ignoring the shutdown signal and initiating Overmind. But how? She didn't even hit the button. She like cried on the button. How did she not... Oh, God. I don't care how. Stop that thing before it brings down the whole castrum. Bringing down whole castrums is our aesthetic. Yay! Evangelion reboot is weird, yeah. How did she not know? That's... It is literally impossible. Like, they didn't know that it was a... They didn't know that it wasn't optional, maybe? Like, they don't... It's clear that the kiddos did not have the full picture on the Overmind thing, but... Wait, no, Overmind and Oversoul, I was thinking they're the same thing. I guess they're different, but... How does she not know that the thing's equipped to the dead orphan button, though? That seems impossible. Yeah, it was the kiddos who told us about the dead orphan buttons. Overmind and Oversoul, I'm getting them mixed up because they seem the same to me. Okay, they're different things. Were it not for you, I suspect Gaius would have ventured into Werlyt by himself, with little more than a gunblade for protection. Thank you for persuading him to take a less rash course of action. I did no such thing. did no such thing. I was unable to save Bill, Sandia, Recon, and Rex, but there may yet be hope for Ali and Alphonse. Gosh. Yeah, Nero went into the void without a gunblade. Ready to depart? I'll send for Master Garland. Yeah, we need a super weapon. Let's just call up Sid. Gosh, I love thinking about Nero in the void with the two clone kiddos. Uncle Nero. That's one of those things where it's just like, it's very brief, but you know that there's a huge amount of stuff that went on behind the scenes there. Good fanfic potential with it. Yeah. And since we know that time flows differently, hi Sid, we know that time flows differently in different on different shards. Now, Sid and Une and Doga could, or Nero and Une and Doga, sorry Sid, hi, he distracted me, could have been in there for, like, years. Not too many years, since Nero didn't visibly age, but they could have been there for a couple of years. We all expected another weapon to appear sooner or later, but not quite like this. According to Vaudelin, after it finished laying waste to the headquarters of the 7th Legion, it took to the sky. Though this has dealt a massive blow to the Imperial forces, I am certain that Ali is on board the weapon. It must be halted before she comes to harm, and for that I need the G-Warrior and airships to transport it. Nero would never give up his forelock. Or he could give it up and then he stays in the void long enough for it to grow back. I see that one thing hasn't changed since your days as the Black Wolf. Your penchant for gigantic war machina. They remembered that Praetorium happened! Huzzah! Victory for team backstory. Team canon. But if this means G-Warrior has another chance to shine, I'd be happy to oblige. Only this time, rather than having it unceremoniously towed by airships, I have a more dynamic entrance in mind. Like, if it wasn't Gaius, if the Werlyt people had contacted the Ala Mhigans and the Orzian Alliance and all that and said, hey, we need a super weapon to defeat some super weapons, Nero could have come up with the G-Warrior. It'd be right up his alley. Not Sid, though. It'd be Nero's vanity project. He'd like, I always wanted a giant robot so I could use this giant robot that I invented. It doubles as a coffee maker. Like, even the dialogue sounds more Nero than Sid. Rather than having it towed, I have a dynamic entrance in mind. Sid isn't... Like, he does the flashy stuff, but not very much. Like, he's more... The flashy is kind of on the side. Nero's the one who's just like... I painted it gold and it has a laser that does nothing but brew coffee. Maybe they wanted Nero but thought he was dead. I like Silly's theory on that one. Oh, she's got the fat tail. I like it when the little lizards have the big tail. It's good to see you again, Olivia. From what I hear, we have to thank Avelina. I think I've been called that by Puggies. We have to thank for Avelina volunteering to help the Ironworks. Since she joined the team, our work has come on leaps and bounds. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to finally put my knowledge and skills to use. Avelina, yeah, I have definitely been called Avelina by Puggies. And as far as I can tell, your target is the diamond weapon, the most powerful of them all. What's worse is the design incorporates all of the combat data and abilities of the other weapons, making it far more formidable than those you encountered before. I actually have heard that this fight is easier than the other two, the Savage. Extreme, sorry. Thankfully, we had time to prepare for such an occasion. Would you care to elaborate? Let me put it like this. Thanks to Avelina's tireless dedication, the G-Warrior has been reborn. Did you put flame decals on the side? But there will be time to explain more on the way. Come on, the Enterprise is waiting. And Shadowbringers was so good. Shadowbringers' main strength lies in how it pulls old themes and dangling plot threads from earlier in the story, from ARR, and does more with them and wraps them up and gives us good, satisfying conclusion and good, depthy, weighty lore. But this is just does the complete opposite. Just recolor it red, add some coffee makers and rabbit heads, and call it a day. Very impressive. But may I ask what purpose it serves? That is a question that you ask Nero, not Sid. Since our objective is to rescue the pilot, we've added a means of capturing the diamond weapon. A giant net! It is a giant net. God. We come to save lives, not to end them, and for that reason the G-Warrior has been reborn. I present to you the G-Savior. Okay, if this had been his first version of it... It's like a Gundam thing. I think I watched, like, some Gundam once upon a time. I don't remember what. It's a have-a-heart trap. The little traps that you use for catching the opossum that keeps getting into your chicken coop and eating the eggs. Gosh, sorry. Knocked out one here. From the bad light action. Alright. You're off to save Melisandre's foster siblings, Hanze and Ali, aren't you? Please do whatever you can to bring them back safe. While you and Gaius deal with the diamond weapon, I'll be doing my best to aid Bottle in safe return from Werlyt. Hopefully he's taking advantage of the chaos to make good his escape. They still haven't told the Resistance what's going on, have they? It's just chaos over there. Oh, mighty Gaius, please conquer us. We'll put you in charge. And he just nopes off and leaves them to deal with whatever shenaniganery's going on there. I'll be monitoring the situation with the Enterprise. Should things take a turn for the worse, I'll be ready to intervene. Over to intervene, so... Once again, Sid and his engineers provided precisely what we required before we even knew it ourselves. Due to the added complexity, we'll have Gaius pilot while Livion handles the various armaments. Agreed. Let's just put Gaius in a super robot. Remind me what happened last time we put Gaius in a giant robot. Kaboom. He died too, though, so maybe he'll die again. There will be little opportunity for us to grow accustomed to our roles, but even so, we must succeed at all costs. Okay, Livion is seriously tempted to just summon Ilbert's Primal and end this right now. Like, everything is wrong. This is a nightmare. Like, he could just, like, hop over to the first and gather a bunch of light ward and light and summon a Primal with that. Totally harmless. He's about to start having really bad ideas. Same dialogue. It seems their controls are the same as the previous iteration, though it has been some time since I last piloted War Machina of the Ala Mhigan origin. Lack of practice is no excuse for failure. Okay, let me switch to heals for this. I think... Yep, it's frog time! Frog. Deck. Yeah, I think our person with the frog phobia is not here today, so we're good with Frog. Frog loves you. Behold Frog. A little sparkle with the frog. This is the Ala Mhigan beefed frog. The beefed frog actually has its own backstory. See, the beefed frog lived in Loxeld with all the other beefed frogs. And then Gaius came along and dumped a bunch of Corellium into Loxeld and polluted it. And now the beefed frogs are an endangered species. And he's the only beefed frog. Mark on anti-life world. Diamond. It's gonna have like a surprise data set instead of just Xenos. Like Xenos will be phase 1 and it'll surprise and turn into like, I don't know, Xenos when he was a kid. Elidus Xenos. Ala Xenos. Yay! Giant robots fighting giant robots. I guess the giant robot thing never really piqued my interest, so I'm just like, there's a giant robot. I think, rather than giant robots, I like giant monsters like the Godzillas and stuff. All the stuff like Pacific Rim is just giant robot versus giant monster, that's cool. It's just when they're both robots and I'm just like, oh well. That's just me. That's nothing about the actual story or fighting. Pacific Rim is great because it's giant robots and power of friendship versus giant monsters. Okay. Good morning. Oh, I forgot to say I am a frog. Interesting. I'm gonna... Oh, weird. It starts on the side. That's it. I don't think we've ever had something where the boss lives inside of you. Oh, it's got orphans loaded into it. Oh, that's a heavy AoE, okay. Okay, that's gonna be a tricky mechanic for Savage. He bending himself. Okay, and top flanker. Froggy? That's the Ruby Weapons, Zoomies claw that, like, easier to avoid. That is really hard. Also, yeah, double weapons, shields. That is another tank. I'm just gonna stay, but I think that's enough. What's that bard just chilling up there? Okay. Diamond weapon, show them what you're made of. Alright. Let's make sure he doesn't notice. I have to keep fighting until I dream of it. Oh, cool! It turns into a robot Ifrit? Is that an Ifrit? Oh, this is gonna be a knockback. Heck. Okay. Oh. Ah, co-healer! no, 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 ow, oh, heck, hell. Okay. That took out our puggies. Yeah, no, the DPS can work with the reses. 10 seconds. Whoa, co-healer! Yeah, I think that was a quadruple wave. Heck! Oh, I ended up wiping. Just keep this guy up. And I can't hard res right now. This is going. Ow! Ow! Oh! 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 Okay. Okay, it does give him a moment there. Whew! Yeah, I think what happened to that co-healer is he died once and then just never managed to recover from it fully. Let's see, can I hard res here? We have a moment. Okay, it's shooting. Okay, looks like it's shooting at both tanks. Who's that on? Not me, okay, great. That both tanks thing might be a aggro shenanigan rate. So, let's straighten everything out. Ow! Heck! I was looking at my mana. Yeah. At least the other healer's fully recovered by now. Let's see if I can start cascading. Bet I'm gonna start cascading. Ooh! Oh, hands. Okay, I think we are recovered, guys. Okay, tankies. Top this. Ah! Okay, now I got it. Towers for steel. Yeah, they're coming. If I had mana, I would try resing. Like hard resing, you just sit here twiddling my thumbs for 7 seconds. Whoa! Yeah, tank placement's gonna be... Mostly what I'm thinking about is farming dragons and extreme. And tank strats, because tank off. I missed a lot of the dialogue. Ow! I thought they said diamond weapon wasn't going to have positionals, but I see the little positional. I didn't mean to go there. Ooh. Whoa. Froggy lives. There grabs him. Articulated bits. No! It's just too slow. We covered from that death cascade earlier, though. Keep 4 mana height. Too soon about the death cascade. We might have another. Ooh, it's for me. Res. Tank. I hope that tank's invuln me because there's no one around to. Whew, he did good. I guess one strat would be, yeah, tanks and one healer over here, and everyone else over there. But you can't reach across to the platforms. Where is this boy? There he is. 11 seconds he can wait. Reach. When I have some mana. What? More corpses. Ow! 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 Heck. That was bigger than I expected. Tea is cold. I cannot believe they put Gaius in charge. Let's conquer us again. Conquer us, please. It's like that in Doctor Who, I mean, it's a kind of a joke, but there's the alien race that wants to be subjugated, and every time someone shows up, they're like, please subjugate me. That's what it's like. It's 12 seconds. Yeah, run away, run away, run away. Whew. I suspect the warrior has done this before, because he seems to be doing a lot to help carry us. Stack of these. This guy? Just put this up here. And hop back. And done! Nice, I didn't get to spend the last thing though. That was exhilarating. The containment field won't hold. I do like the part where the weapon turns into a lizard and you shoot the lizard. That had surprisingly no Xenos mechanics. Ah, co-healer, get back here. Oh well. Here we go. Yeah, Twitch chat, Grace says if she was in the revolution and hadn't already left, I'd be leaving right then, cause hoo boy. Please no Bowd. Okay, I wanna talk to Gaius. I wanna. The command spit does not exist. Oh well. You make Frog sad. Look how sad the frog is. He's crying. He's a sad froggy. Frog. Hey Gaia. Hey Gaia. Hey Gaia. I'm a frog. Okay, we will carry on. Turn back into an Ala Mhigan. Well, the frog is also an Ala Mhigan, so. People call Lise a bad leader. Lise isn't a bad leader. She's just not a leader. She's just, that's not her personality or her role that she's had before. So she's just doesn't have the necessary experience for the job. It doesn't make her a bad leader. She's just, yeah, she's inexperienced. So she's just in a role that doesn't suit her. And of course she's going to hack it up because give her something that needs punching and she will be perfect. I think we're actually, I'm going way off tangents here because I don't want to talk to guys. But a while before I was speculating Lise as a bodyguard spouse for someone. Marry her off to, I don't know, Ishtola or someone. She's got Raban helping her out, but like... See, before this, I would say put Minago in charge. And Minago's young and not much experience, but she's been in the revolution all this time. So she can, like... Raban's older, he's been around, he can help her out, and Minago can learn from Raban how to actually lead instead of just rebelling. But at least, she's just not a leader. She hasn't been here. It's a misogyny, yeah. Talk to guys. I'm gonna go make some tea real quick. I really don't want to talk to guys. Where's my AFK notice? I think I've got it somewhere here. Yes. I can tell I don't. Tea time! Alright. Okay. Okay, while my tea water is boiling, I will talk to Gaius. Here we go. We must reach the diamond weapon before the Imperials. You are the Imperials! I'm sure the stream would love to see a cat. Let me just angle this down a little bit. Let's see my messy room and a cat. Here comes Gaius. In all the years since the invasion, this place has hardly changed. I was expecting to find some sign of the 7th Legion here, but it would appear the diamond weapon has already taken them out of the equation. There's one way to scare. Is it good cat? Cat. We pray we are not too late. Nice landscape. Pity nothing good happens here. Oh yeah, this is the emerald weapon landscape. Baldur is an enormous tiny cat. It's huge and stuff. He's shedding too. Okay. Cat there in my nose. Baby boy. Baby cat boy. Baby cat. I got. Oh gosh. Yay! She survived! So I guess Overmind is just that they download the orphans into the weapon. Doesn't make any sense. Oh well, none of this makes any sense. Is she tempered or something? No, tiny lizard. Save the tiny lizard. Because we couldn't save the tall lizard, so might as well save a tiny one. Cat. Please take her back to Turncliffe. I have some unfinished business to attend to. That's a suspicious face. Good. And he's like, okay. Gosh. Baldur's commentary is give cheese to cat. I shouldn't say that. He will hear the word and start crying for it. My tea is almost ready. My tea is ready. But for the next dialogue thing to pop. And there it is. Now to learn what has become of Alfonso. Okay, Baldur. Up, down. No? Okay, I will pick you up then. Baby boy. Baby boy. Too big. Okay. Baby cat. Oh, claw stuck. There you go. Okay. Now to learn what has become of Alfonso. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna sit next to the desk. Okay. Oh, soft cat. Baby boy. That's the left one. If you have a score to settle, now's your chance. Show yourself. Oh, goody! Elf Boy is gonna get his revenge, and then everything will be okay. Nah, it's not gonna happen. God, I hope it happens. Just... No, it's... Oh well. I thought Elf Boy was gonna kill Gaius for a second. I got my hopes up. I didn't actually think that was gonna happen, I just wished to. Come to gloat, have you, Gaius? It's not over yet. Gosh, I love silly sound effects. You certainly have an instinct for self-preservation. I would expect nothing less from the coward who sacrificed his own soldiers to further his ambitions. Yet Gaius didn't sacrifice his soldiers, he just sacrificed Ala Mhigan. Presumably Werlyt as well. It's like, who do you think built the wall? How did the wall get there? The wall that is named after... You guys came for the what, yelling in Ala Mhigan, and I am not disappointed. Gosh. It's better to manipulate them than to sacrifice them. Yeah. Gaius does sacrifice his own soldiers, he just makes them think that they're doing it of their own volition. He's good. This is what makes Gaius such a good villain, too, is that he is charismatic and compelling. And he gets folks like Fordola and, what's-his-face, the, Rogadin, whose name I always forget. The name matches the other one. Redditon. And gets people like that to so fully believe in him. He's good. He was a great villain. I mean, ARR was jankily written, and Praetorium has the worst pacing in the entire world, but he was a good villain, and all it needed was tighten up the writing, flesh some things out here and there, and he would have been a great villain. But nope. Yeah, Black Rose was made to impress him, and yeah, that guy misjudged what impresses Gaius, but still, people were doing these things to impress him. Nero jazz hands in the background of the kazoo. Please. How dare you speak to me of ambitions? You are the one who stood in my way at every turn. Oh, they're just gonna have a little spat. If not for your meddling, the Empire would have been mine. Mine! Okay, if this guy's got designs on the throne, how come Gaius didn't off him back when he put Varus on the throne? Which, by the way, is another thing that was like, I mean, it wasn't really in ARR, I think it was 1.0 in the lore books and stuff, but Gaius killed a path to the throne for Varus. Varus is emperor because of Gaius. Varus just got murdered in front of Gaius, and Gaius didn't do anything about it. Like, gosh, you could have had, if you wanted to go the Garlean Imperial intrigue route, there was so much with that, with the whole Gaius putting people on the throne shenaniganry. Was it Solus? I thought he put Varus on the throne after Solus popped off. But either way, okay, if it was Solus, then he was, yeah, manipulated by Askians, and that should give him a bit of a crisis of faith, since he seems to literally worship the Empire. Yeah, Solus didn't pop off until ARR. They had a little off-screen succession crisis. Yeah, I guess that would have been Solus. Oh, okay. If not for your meddling, the Empire would have been mine. So, Gaius put an Askian on the throne. And now he finds out there's Askians all the way down. His beloved Empire... Gosh, he could have done so much with this. Enough of your delusions of grandeur. Where is Alphonse? Heh. Hee hee hee. Cat fur in my mouth. Ha 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 ha! Why, he's right in front of you! There were multiple orphans in the orphan killing machine! What? Once you hear the answer, you'll kick yourself for not realizing it sooner. You see, in all the previous models, the combat data was either incomplete or unstable in some way, making their performance in battle wildly unpredictable. But then an idea struck me. Okay, that is a plot twist, because the big dramatic thing was which orphan is gonna go in the death bot this time, and both of them was not actually a solution I was expecting. Rather than using data gathered in battle, I should use something a little more realistic. It turns out that beloved boy of yours was quite brilliant. I mean, he put his mind to it. By my ingenuity, he has been reborn as the core of the greatest machine ever devised. None but the great Lord Valens van Varro could conceive of such a marvel. Gosh. Ha 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 ha. See, this guy is a Saturday morning cartoon, so, which is why the trigger warning stuff in the last patch was just so inappropriate. Like, you can deal with those themes in fiction quite well, but not with a cartoon villain. It's just, the mismatch was just really uncomfortable. And to think that Ali came here to steal the diamond weapon to save her brother, only to find he'd already become part of it. Perhaps it wasn't the reunion she'd envisioned, but I'm sure she was grateful nonetheless. You have to stoop this low for a bad guy to make Varus look good. Varus doesn't even look good, though. He's making himself look worse, too, with the whole, I'm gonna conquer Werlyt again. But for good this time. An insult to cartoons, yeah. See, if he was a cartoon villain, he would be green and 4 feet tall or something, and his ultimate goal would be to, I don't know, steal the chocolates or something. Gosh. Oh, that might also explain why Overmind activated all by itself. It was clearly an attempt to protect his precious sister. A fascinating anomaly, but I can't stand disobedience. Gosh, this is just stupid. That such atrocities should continue unabated is proof of the rot that has spread through the Empire. Yeah, it really is. You said a true thing. Gosh. Your crimes are an affront not only to Garlemald, but to all of mankind, and now you will die. I'm pretty sure I said that to him in Praetorium, right before nuking him in like 12 seconds in a frog suit. Like, and he should know, like this whole Shadowhunter thing, which by the way they have completely dropped, that the Empire has been rotten since its inception. Why does he have an iPhone tablet thing? Why is he fanning himself with an iPhone tablet? Oh well. I guess they have tablets, it's fine. Have you forgotten, Gaius? I've seen your data. I know your every move. Such pitiful swordsmanship is a relic of the past, just like you. Oh, he has real bullets. Oh, he's gonna shoot a thing. I hope he leveled up, because can we really take this out as a level 50? Like, vanilla game. But this wasn't in my data. Splat. Oh yeah, Photoshop the Mystech logo onto the iPad. Yes. Varro's mistake was that he looked up the strats for normal, but he actually got loaded into the extreme. Reactivating synthetic RSite system. Dun dun dun. Put 2 orphans in the robot. I did not see that coming, actually. Good on them. I feel like that we used an orphan for the core of the robot thing could actually be cool and scary. Hee squish. In literally any other storyline. Oh, this is the part where someone was like, someone gets squished like a tomato. Good. Yay. Now do it to Gaius too! This can't be! How is it still functional? Removing memory inhibitors. Dun dun dun. Squish, squish, squish. Get on with it. Big dramatic death scene. Which one is this? I don't remember which orphan this is. I can't tell them apart. I legitimately can't tell them apart. Okay. Okay, that was the... Okay. I don't remember their names, but I know the blue-haired one was the one who's in Emerald. Which means the white-haired one was the one who got tortured. Okay. Gosh, this is a ridiculous story. Even the names of those sacrificing your twisted experiments are beneath your notice. You're beyond redemption. Oh, I forgot their names too, okay? So... They're interchangeable. You didn't develop them enough to make any of this poignant. Yeah, and Gaius doesn't have much of a chance of redemption. Yeah. Who are you to judge me, Gaius? Do you remember the names of the tens of thousands of men, women, and children killed for the sake of your conquest? Finally! Someone said it! I gotta shot that one real quick. We'll deal with it later. Finally! Someone pointed out that Gaius kills people. Watch. Does he acknowledge it? I do not deny the blood spilled at my behest, nor will I run from my past. He did it! He acknowledged that he has done wrong! Finally! Finally! Gosh, I can't believe Milkman is the one who pointed it out, but... Whew! We took an entire step forward, guys! After putting him in charge of conquering Werlyt a second time. Conquering! They even called it that! He still doesn't answer the question, but yeah. But he finally does not deny that tens of thousands of people got killed because of him. Good job. No, go apologize to Nero. He needs to apologize to Sid too, and Nero. And everyone. That is why I fight, to prevent the wrongs I committed from being repeated. Okay. Good! Finally! This is more than I expected, actually. Took him this long. Okay, now they squish like a tomato. No, stop, I beg you. Oh, lots of dead orphans! Yay! You can't do this to me! Whatever, I missed the line. It can't end this way. Pop! Little pop! Little tiny balloon pop! Pop! Little tiny balloon pop. How did it make a tiny balloon pop? Pop! They're gonna patch that, aren't they? Like they patched the Gunbreaker sounds. A teeny tiny pop! Not even a splat. It was a pop. It really did sound like a balloon. Alphonse? Gosh. Yep, little tiny balloon pop. Still cat fur in my mouth. Alphonse, my son, I have failed you. He was empty as a balloon. Tiny balloon pop. And it's raining and there are sparkles. But this is not the end. I will see your dreams fulfilled. This I swear. I ask only that you, Milsandy, Recon, and Rex watch over me. Robot friend. Is it gonna kill him? Do it! Kill him! Shoot him with the shooty thing! It's not gonna, is it? It's gonna have a robot hag. Father, the memory is stored in the diamond weapon. Give them to Ala. Watch over her in my stead. Father, I can't go on like this. Yeah, you're stuck in a robot. Welcome to girl mode. I understand. He is pixelated. It looks like GLaDOS. Oh, he's so sad. Thank you, I'm proud to call myself your son. Why? Because you convinced him to shoot you after you managed to turn into an evil robot? Anime was a mistake. I like anime. Not for this reason. Anime is fun. Bye-bye, GLaDOS. Ghost remake, it's weird. Gosh. Sorry, I got rid of the tea bag. Hi, Vaudeline, you're back! Go get your revenge. It's been some time since you last heard from Gaius. I wonder what he's up to. Like, I can't bring myself to care about the dead orphans because, like, they were interchangeable. They were color-coded, that was it. I couldn't remember their names. They were just a prop. They were MacGuffins, basically. The boy ones and the girl one. The girl one had a teensy bit more characterization, but, like, barely. The girl one, Allie, I think her name was, yeah. Well, Anik and Konog are great fun. Anyway, I see. We will remain here until further notice. And also, yeah, tragic figures, so we're supposed to feel bad for them, but why? And this is coming right on the tails of Shadowbringers. They had Ardbert and Crystal Exarch and Squelch, if you're into him, and everyone in Shadowbringers, and all the role quest folks, and what's her name, Elf Chick, in this capstone, who I don't want to spoil if you haven't gotten there, but there's just so much in Shadowbringers has these tremendously tragic figures. Elidibus too, yeah. You can, like, no matter what your taste, there is someone in Shadowbringers that you're gonna feel sorry for. It's gonna, yeah, make you feel things. Because they're just very well-written tragic figures. And then this is just like, here's some random orphans tugging your heartstrings and, like, they can't even catch hold of them. Yeah, Seto, too. Seto is practically a bird. Like, he's not even a person. And he's better characterized and more of a person than these orphans. Gosh. That was Gaius. Valence and Varro and the Weapon Project are no more. Yay! Seizing the opportunity, the Werlyt revolutionaries have taken control of the city. Yeah, with no guidance from Gaius, so why do we put him in charge again? Yeah. Though they still suffered considerable losses, they have at last gained their freedom. Yay! And they did it without Gaius. Look at that. I guess the resistance was able to take care of the Legion once they didn't have their milkman in charge. Gargamald is a hot mess. It was created to be a hot mess, and Gaius could have a crisis of faith over that, but nah! Whatever happened to the Shadowhunter angle? Like, for like half of 4.x, he was building up to, oh, who's this guy who's fighting Ascians? Oh, it's Gaius! He doesn't fight Ascians, by the way. Yeah, Omega had an amazing story. Four Lords had a great story. What's it called? The Azus Law one. It wasn't as great as Four Lords and Omega, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It had stuff to it. The Evolus one was a mess, but it was not bad. The Evolus one took some weird turns, like I think they changed their mind about some things partway through. It took some odd turns and was a little incoherent in places and hard to follow, I think, if you... I didn't play the game it was based on, so I think it was hard to follow because of that. So that was, like, one of the less good raid arcs. But it was worlds better than this. It was enjoyable, except for the Killer Chocobos. The Killer Chocobos were enjoyable. Evolus gave us more world building and filled out the map, which I guess this did as well, but gosh. Four Lords was so nice. Little turtle friend. And you get to do the solo duty with Tataru. Anyway. And even with the Empire gone, for people like me, life under Imperial rule is all we've ever known. We might never be able to heal the scars left by decades of oppression. Yeah, you might not. You definitely won't make any progress with Gaius around. While there is hope for those who have survived this ordeal, nothing can bring back the dead. The loss of my wife and daughter left a void in me that can never be filled. What were their names? How old was the daughter? In the years since, I have struggled to find a purpose, a reason to keep on living. It's the same for Gaius. No matter how hard he tries to make amends, the children he lost are gone forever. Yeah, because he killed them. Bro, let's not compare these things. Gaius killed your family and his orphans. That's what your family has in common with the orphans. They were killed by Gaius. Gosh. I wish that I could wear this outfit with other classes. At least he never said his revenge arc was misguided, because that would have been the icing on the cake. But they did, well, at least, yeah, it looks like there's another one. Oh gosh, there's more? There's more. I can now see how heavily the burden weighs on him, just as it does on me. In truth, it never gets any lighter. We can only hope to grow strong enough to bear it. This actually reminds me of, there's that bit at the elevator in Shadowbringers where Ardbert pops up and is like, if things are bad for me, being stuck for 100 years, I can't imagine how bad it would be for Squelchums, who was stuck for gazillions of years. Which is a false analogy, because Ardbert is completely isolated, and Squelch has multiple families and empires, plenty of interaction. He did lose a whole lot, his entire civilization, but he's not alone. There are still people with him, who he either met after the fact, or who survived that with him. So he's not completely alone. And also, is the age span thing. Sorry, I'm just ranting about Shadowbringers now. Ardbert has outlived his expected lifespan. Squelch has not. So while the time difference is unfathomably different compared to the person's lifespan, Squelch's time span might be more equivalent to if Ardbert had been stranded for more like 50 years rather than 100. But yeah. So I felt like Ardbert was being a little too generous and too nice, which is in his nature. It makes sense, because he's, like, he's a good person. Maybe too good. Maybe he kind of got himself killed and destroyed the world by being too good a person. That's his flaw. So him being a little too sympathetic of Squelch makes sense to me. But, like, bro, him and Ren need to grow up and realize what's going on. But, hero with a capital H, yeah. But Vaudelin is not a typical hero. He hasn't been set up to be too good a person, so him being a little too sympathetic of Gaius is me going, go, have some revenge. I'll just turn my back. I'll participate, and we won't tell anyone. Can I watch? We have your revenge. Oh, it gets worse. Oh, goody. Severa is concerned for Ali's well-being. Good. Orphan Coda. Gosh, that was a lot of orphans in that cutscene. Not even the characters who were introduced in this arc are in character. How could this get worse? This can't get worse. We already had Cid overjoyed at blowing things up, and the Ala Mhigan resistance asking Gaius to conquer people. Star Wars Christmas special of side story. Hey, the Star Wars Christmas special was funny. I laughed. I enjoyed it. It was hilarious. Here we go. Okay. The recent events in Werlyt have had a profound impact on the lives of many, many people, but none more so than Ali. She's been in a state of shock ever since she returned. We even called in Cid to see if he can ascertain what the problem might be. Cid's not a doctor. Like, he might be able to look at the weapon and find out what happened to her mechanically, but you're gonna need to call in someone else. You're gonna need to call in, what, Ishtola or something. Or, I'm sure they have surgeons around here. They don't have hospitals, they don't have hospitals, they don't believe in them. Gaius probably took away their hospitals. He said that they're for Garleans only. See, Gaius is nice because he says that that anyone can be a Garlean by joining him. That's what's so great about Gaius. Gosh, this is sick. You see, there's a strong possibility that the diamond weapon itself is what caused Alex to close herself off like this. But for the time being, all he can do is wait. He could look at the... Sid can look at the weapon and go, yeah, the weapon did this to her, and then that would be useful information to give to a conjurer or a surgeon who would actually treat her. Yeah, this dude right over here, Rueful Civilian, he's a doctor. It's on my screen. Oh, I didn't even read that. There's one other thing. Evelina came by looking for you earlier, so perhaps we go and see her. She just likes me because she's probably been called Olivion by puggies. No, oh, that's... This place is pretty. Doctor sitting on the screen. Let's have Sid figure out what's wrong with this kid. The doctor. Hi, Nika. Baldur has written better content than this. Sometimes he meows over the mic, and that is like has better characterization and narrative cohesion than this. Yet one time Baldur walked into my room and said the word embargo. Thank you for coming to meet me. I'm glad that you're none the worse for your experiences. I'm like, oh, he's worse! Well, maybe not physically, but... Actually, I've been meaning to show you this. Thanks to the Ala Mhigan resistance, the monument to the fallen is complete. Yay! Though they may no longer be with us, we will never forget them. This way, they'll always be a part of Turncliffe, and future generations will be reminded of the sacrifices that were made. That's good. Just leave Gaius's name off of it. You were always so kind to me, and now it's my turn to do the same to others. Like, lady, I met you briefly once. Always so kind is a bit of a overstatement. She's absorbed in prayer. Now would be a good time to return to Zephyr. Just walk on. Well, monument is... it's part of the healing process. But the fact that that's all that they're focusing on, yeah. Hey, at least she didn't say, and I put Gaius' name in all caps at the start. Hello, former conscript. How you doing? Same as last time. The same dialogue. His dialogue didn't update even though Varro got squished like a tomato. Not even like a tomato. Tomatoes go splat. He went pop. I hope all is well with Evelina. Actually, while you were speaking with her, I received word that Gaius will be here soon. Yay. Perhaps in time, Ala will return to some semblance of her former self. Hey, lonely widow. Gosh, she's probably got the same dialogue from last time, too. I remember thinking she's quite young to be a widow. Garlemald does that to ya. The Scarlian bastards are finally gone. It's all thanks to you. My husband died defending our town when they first invaded, and for all the years since, I felt like he died for nothing. Now his soul might at last find peace. At least she thanked me instead of Gaius. Like, lady, I did nothing. Okay, yeah, this is the same dialogue as before. Huron Ara. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is the bit, it said the same thing before. The Garleans didn't let him, as his doctor, and Garleans didn't, the plague came in, the Garleans didn't let him treat the locals. Yeah, guys, did nothing wrong, guys. Ravaged Refugee number 17, yeah. Gosh. Hey, it's me! I'm War Ravaged Refugee number 17! Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and stay in this one. can't possibly get worse than the opener. It can, though. Okay, my only prediction for Werlyt going in was that it would be worse than expected. So, no matter how bad it is, because I expected it to be worse than expected, it can't actually be worse than expected. The finger on the monkey's paw, yeah. I wish to see Allie. Would you send for her? I like the little dolphin. It's a cute dolphin. Swilly made a correct prediction. Okay, Swilly's prediction was like, Gaius joins the Ironworks. Oh wait, Sid just showed up. Gaius joins the Ironworks and what, babysits Sid's 3 kids. So... Gosh. Allie, how about we keep her away from you guys? Does she even recognize me? Probably for her sake, it's probably best if she doesn't. At first, we thought the weapon's influence had caused this, but it seems there's more to it than that. And that's where your expertise ends, Sid. The surgeons say that it's most likely the result of intense trauma. Her mind has been scarred, perhaps irrevocably. Yup. Gosh. She boarded the diamond weapon with the intention of saving her brother. Little did she know that Valens had used the synthetic arsite system to transform Alphonse into a living component of the machine. How shocking. I just stare at her. Someone just pick this kid up and carry her back to Ralger's Reach. The surgeons there are probably experienced with this kind of thing. Or the Conjurer's Guild in Grenania, that's not too far. We can just get Estinian to do his little highball. Get Estinian to do his little bouncy, he could make it in 2 jumps. Then, when she boarded the diamond weapon, she finally learned the horrible truth. You did hear a man. Baby boy. I've never heard of anything so cruel. Yeah, it sucks. Just a moment. In each of the previous cases, pilots became fused with the weapon's core, so how was Allie able to escape a similar fate? Because the orphan boy stopped it. That's one of the many things we're still looking into. That's in Sid's wheelhouse, maybe. Although that's more the magical stuff. Like, he would know about that, like how souls interact with machines, but like, not quite his... It's adjacent to his expertise. There's no need, I already know the answer. It was Alphonse who kept her sane. Yeah, obvious. In the end, I was unable to save your brother, my son. All they wanted was a place to call home, where they could live in peace, but after all the pain and hardship they endured, this is their reward. Welcome to being Ala Mhigan! No, this is not the end of their story. Oh, it's this theme. What? No. I taught them the strong must lead the weak, but absolute power corrupts absolutely, and those who have suffered at the hands of the corrupt are beyond counting. Yeah, Gaius. I'm down to your orphans. Yeah, he's little driving it home there. I just took my headphones out because it started the sad Warrior of Light Ardbert theme. The last time I heard that theme was when Arenvald was talking about being a hero and the cost of heroism and all that, and idealism and stuff. And like Arenvald was saying a lot of the same stuff Ardbert does, and it's a lot of Warrior of Light themed stuff, and this sad music was playing, and it was good. And now Gaius is playing over Gaius saying, the strong must lead the weak. The strong must lead the weak. Yeah, because it's their responsibility to protect the weak from you, Gaius. Gosh. Alphonse dreamed of a land without oppressors and the oppressed, where all may live as equals. If thanks to his sacrifice and that of his siblings, the cornerstones of such a nation have been laid. Maybe they have. We need to get Gaius out of here if we want to build that. Hit marble on his head hard enough to sound like a pinball machine. Boink. Gosh. I love this music and I want it for my orchestra and scroll for it. Melisandre, Recon, Rex, Alphonse, and Ali, they risked everything to win the freedom of Werlyt. They actually did. That is an accurate statement. And now it has come to pass. I will see that their ideals are upheld. This I swear, as their father, because they are my children, and he is my son, and they are siblings. He's gonna start listing out his whole adopted family tree. The long and arduous process of rebuilding Werlyt has begun. In the days to follow, I shall be working alongside the new government to create a place that people like Ali and Severa would be proud to call home. Yeah, I need that barf bag. Gosh. Gosh. Make him stop. Like, were they actually going for a free Werlyt, though? Or were they going for a Gaius's Werlyt? Like, they wanted Gaius's ideals. They wanted one where everyone is equally a citizen of the Empire. They wanted Rome. For so long, all that kept me alive was hate. Whoop, here we go! But the time has come to cast it aside. I'm going with you. I only regret it if I don't, and while nothing I do can bring back the ones I've lost, I owe it them to make the most of the life I've been given. See, if he was saying that to Cid and joining the Ironworks, that would make sense. If he was saying that and just noping off into the distance to go, I don't know, hunt primals or something on his own, Asians or something, that would make sense. But no, he's gonna throw in with Gaius. How old was his daughter? I just want to know, was she like a baby? Or was she like a little kid? Was she old enough to understand what was happening to her? How scared was she? What was his wife's name? With the wife and daughter, were they together when they died, or were they separated? I want to know these things! Humanize them! Make it horrific! Hold Gaius accountable! Ugh. Ugh. Times change, peoples change, and it's just as well. We inventors would soon find ourselves out of work if everything stayed the same. No, but that doesn't make it, that sentence is illogical, because, inventors would not find themselves out of work if things stayed the same, because inventors who invent things prevent things from staying the same. They would just invent more efficient dishwashers. If you have a need for my creations, just say the word! Oh my gosh. I chose the right glamour for this. Oh, Daddy. God. This is... Swelly! Swelly, you owe me an apology! You willed this into existence! This is the primal that you summoned, Swelly! Like, in Praetorium, the scene that I saw, like, 3 times a day when I was farming Mogstones recently. Gaius is all, join me, Cid, and build super weapons! And Cid is like, lol, no. You know, Gaius, I could fill a book with all the things I've been meaning to say to you over the years, but what would be the point? What's done is done. There is one thing, though. I love you, Daddy! If anyone can get through to Ali, it's you. She looks up to you the same way I did as a boy. Don't give up on her. So I said, the worst thing that could possibly happen in Werlyt, which won't happen, is that Cid and Gaius kiss. They are coming dangerously close. I'm like, but clearly that won't actually happen, because they don't animate kisses, usually. What is going on? Oh boy. Grow the hell up. Gaius. No. Gosh. I would not have made it this far without my constant companions, Vadeline and Severa. In fact, I believe she has a few words to share with you. This is worse than I expected, and I expected it to be worse than I expected. You know what Ali's issue is? She's tempered by the Gaius Primal. It's taken me a long time, too long, but I finally found a reason to live for the present, for the future. I'm just gonna work with Gaius! This is absurd. For all my life, I've been searching for my place in the world. Everywhere I went, I was always on the outside looking in. But I've realized if we can't find one, we'll just have to make it ourselves. That's what I learned from Gaius's children. Despite everything, they never gave up, and neither will I. For now, at least, my place is at Gaius's side. I'll follow him and see where this journey leads. And before I leave, I want to tell you how grateful I am that you chose to stand by us until the end. I hope we'll meet again one day. He's like, oh, this is a dream. I had no choice. I tried to wake up. Nero just needs to come in and just kick everything. Just kick Sid in the head and be like, wakey wakey! Gaius is McGuffin. All this time I'd been trying to convince myself that Gaius was every bit the villain I imagined him to be. The ruthless subjugator of nations, evil made flesh. I mean, he was. Telling that to an Ala Mhigan. And while many who fight under the banner of Garlemald are all that and worse, I realize now that Gaius was driven by his own notions of right and wrong, misguided as they were. No, see, that's exactly what it is! Gaius was driven, he was so convinced that he was right, and so he didn't question what he was doing because he was convinced that he was right. His notions of right and wrong were what made him a villain, and made him a good villain. I loved him as a villain. He's like Ducat from DS9, who, by the way, is one of my favorite villains out there. Ducat is amazing. I love him. He's so evil. He thinks he's right. Like, I realized he was driven by his own notions of right and wrong, misguided as they were. He killed your little kid because of his notions of right and wrong. Okay, not personally, but like... Bielsar's wall. Who built it? That's his notions of right and wrong. That was what made him be a villain. Since then, he has turned his back on the Empire and its hateful doctrine. His guilt and anguish only strengthened his resolve. See, you could have made me believe that. If Werlyt had gone very differently, I could believe a statement like that, but they didn't. He hasn't turned his back on the Empire. And he spent his life upholding its hateful doctrine, and he hasn't turned his back on that. Gosh. The day I spared his life, he was given a second chance to set right the wrongs he committed, and he blew it, to become the man his children believed him to be. I was a father once, a husband, yeah, past tense. In many ways, I still am, and even though they're no longer with me, I want to be someone that they could be proud of. Now, I too have been given a chance to make a difference. In a land far from home. You see, if Gaius wasn't here and Vadeline decided that he was done with the revenge arc and he was going to help rebuild Werlyt, and like a normal person was in charge of Werlyt, that would make a lot of sense. That would be a good satisfying conclusion to him either getting his revenge or deciding that his revenge was not feasible. Like, if someone else had killed Gaius and said, okay, revenge isn't gonna do the trick, I need to do something constructive. That would be a good... And then, so he decided to, join Raubahn and Sid and help rebuild Werlyt, a Gaius-less Werlyt. That would be good, but it comes so close sometimes, and then they just blow it. I'll never forget my past, but neither will I be beholden to it. When I meet the people of Werlyt, I will be sure to tell the tale of your bravery and compassion. May it grant them the strength to fight the struggles ahead. Pray, go in peace, my friend. Do I have to talk to Gaius again? I don't know. While I may no longer have a place to call home, I now have the opportunity to help the people Werlyt rebuild theirs, and who knows, perhaps I will choose to settle there one day. Like, that would be such a good story beat. I'm done with their revenge, I'm gonna help rebuild a city that was conquered. If they weren't just reconquered by... I cannot believe this, you guys. I must admit, the thought of returning to Werlyt fills me with apprehension. As a half-Garlean and formal Imperial soldier, it won't be easy to gain acceptance. But if they're willing to turn to Gaius Balesar of all people for help, then anything's possible, yeah. I mean, like, why not just go breathe on the moon and it'll be fine. She's half-Garlean and she's got the little... Oh, turn around. She's got the little, forehead doorbell. But, Arnvald doesn't have the thing, so I guess it's a little, glitch in the lore. Okay, I'll talk to you. Though we were brought together under strange circumstances, Valdel, Severa, and I will continue to work together, at least for the foreseeable future. Maybe Valdel is just giving this old lip service and he's gonna cut Gaius' throat. Like, as soon as everyone's not looking. Well, here they are. Here, have some more orphans, Gaius! Why do these ones get names? And who might these charming young men be? They were found in the 7th Legion's headquarters, in one of the few areas that escaped unscathed following the Diamond Weapons rampage. Perhaps that was Alphonse's intention. Swilly! You predicted that he was going to adopt the orphans from Ishgard, so you were like a ninja! Swilly, how could... I've said before that Werlyt honestly feels like one of those mock scenarios that Swilly makes up to make fun of things. And it is! Swilly wrote this! She's to blame. They're found in the 7th Legion's headquarters. You have Perplexed Alphonse's attention. Yeah, we need to do something with these kids. Giving them to Gaius is, Here, guys, have a second chance. Have some more orphans. Traumatized orphans. Do not be afraid. We mean you no harm. Gosh. No, these kids, we need to send them up to Ishgard. Because Ishgard has experience with traumatized orphans. That thing on your forehead. It's a doorbell. If you press it, it goes bing bong. My name is Gaius Balesar, and like Valens van Varro, I was once a legatus of the Garlean Empire. Though I believed I was fighting for a just cause, my conquest came at a terrible cost. See, conquest came at a terrible cost. He's still not acknowledging that conquering Ala Mhigan was not a good thing to do. I'm laser focused on Ala Mhigan because, I mean, look at my character over here, but, like, he's still not he's saying that the cost was too high. Such devastation was not my intention. I didn't want this. He wanted to conquer with a lower body count. He's a kinder, gentler conqueror. He still is not... Maybe the next dialogue box will... Pray forgive me, I do not mean to scare you. If you would lend me your ears, I have a story to tell. He's gonna tell them about how he got his last batch of orphans dead. He's way more about enslaving than killing, yeah. A group of courageous young men and women, not so different from yourselves, stood up to protect their people from the tyranny of the Empire. They fought with everything they had, and finally, victory was theirs. It came at a terrible price. He's already starting! These kids are going to do the exact same thing his last batch of orphans did. He's already starting it! As their father, I still struggle to come to terms with their sacrifice, and yet they have entrusted the future to me, and I will stop at nothing to see their dream fulfilled. He's already starting sending this batch down that path. Like, we need to get Estinian in here to scoop them up in his big noodle arms and just bounce back to Ishgard and be like, I found some orphans. You have experience deprogramming orphans. Even so, there is only so much one old soldier can achieve by himself. I would be honored to have your support in the days to come. Like, even Ishgard isn't equipped for this level of insanity, but, like, they've got plenty of traumatized war orphans. Yeah, church chat here. It's really, gee, mister, you aren't gonna kill us, are ya? Nope, I'm just gonna manipulate you into serving my interests on your own accord so I can ruin your life, but it'll be your own fault. Cool, huh? That is literally what just happened. Yeah, he's giving a campaign speech to them. The first thing he does when he meets them. Yeah. If any of you were girls, I would bang you. Gosh, he would, though. Livia's estate is going to sue these authors. God. At ease, lads, he's not as scary as he looks. No, he's scarier than he looks. And if he steps out of line, he'll have me to answer to. Please, please, actually do what you say you're gonna do. Stop chickening out, elf boy. They were fortunate enough to words. Though they were fortunate enough to escape the destruction of the castrum, they may have been injured while fleeing. Have the surgeons look them over and find a place for them to stay. Yeah, they might have some dings and scrapes from running out of an exploding castrum. Yeah, Thancred is probably the one person who's most suited to relate to these kids with what they've gone through. Because he was possessed. It's comparable. Gosh. I thought it couldn't get any worse after the opener, but nope! It's just as bad as the opener. It's playing that music again. The different music. The SAG started. Oh, look, more orphans! Yay! How many orphans are we giving him? There's still worse coming. It seems the time has come for us to go our separate ways once more. I myself can scarcely believe that we were once bitter adversaries, but my encounters with you have all led me to question the very ideals I swore to uphold. Finally, there we go! He's questioned his ideals. Just questioned them. He doesn't remember that. Yeah. Olivion's backstory is that Theodore killed his dad and then Gaius killed his mom. Gaius does not remember this at all. He's just yet another Ala Mhigan. He doesn't recognize it. He doesn't know. Olivion wears his mother's name as a surname. Gaius doesn't remember her name. He will recall. What is strength? What is weakness? Finally, he is actually questioning his ideals. Questioning. This would be the first step. If those who grasp the reins of power are said to be strong, then those who lack such power must therefore be weak. For better or worse, however, we are far more complex creatures than that. This is true. This paladin boy is the one who put Gaius in charge, so I don't trust him around those kids either. Yeah, the music that plays when Thancred's name's Rin, it's the Shadowbringer's, like, hopeful. It's the hopeful theme. Everything will be okay. Gosh, Rin's naming scene is just so good. It hit in all the right places. I cried twice. Well, I cried the first time and the second time through Rin's naming scene. I see now that the true strength is not granted by others, but resides within us. Strength of character, spirit of resolve. Therein lies the power to cast off the shackles of oppression, to overcome any adversary, and to stand firm in the face of impossible odds. Now see, if he had given this speech at the beginning, and used this as the reason why he was quitting the Empire and trying to right his wrongs, the speech is out of place. This should have been his introduction. This should have been the speech he gave to Roban before Raban believed that even sent a scout to go check on his obvious trap, as obvious with the ruby weapon. That is the strength you possess, me. I'd never leave you. I have the strength to deck you in the face. It seems I will have to summon all the resolve I can muster if I am to keep my promise to Alphonse. The process of establishing the independent governance of Werlyt is underway, and I will do all in my power to see it become everything my children dreamed of and more. They dreamed of becoming a proper part of Rome, of being treated like citizens. They didn't dream of noping out because you gave them those dreams. For the immediate future, we shall continue to work closely with the Ala Mhigan resistance, whose role in the revolution cannot be understated. That reminds me, if you are passing by Proto Praetoria, the soldiers stationed there wish to hear your version of events. It's just gonna wake up there. Gosh. Please give them my regards. I hope that when our paths cross again, I will have glad tidings to share with you. Until next we meet. Someone go dig up one of those posts that compiles the stuff with lore book that's like, here's how many Ala Mhigans died building Baelsar's wall. Gosh. You know, I think in general, I mean, I'm kind of the far end of the spectrum for how much I hate Werlyt, but I think in general, this has not been well received, so I don't think we're going to be seeing much more of it again. Oh, sunset. I am looking forward to the extreme, but it looks like it might be kind of fun. Yay! Here are the locks. Lock Seld, where all the salt comes from. I suspect, you know how the Dark Knight quest is a completely different story in English than in Japanese? I suspect that the Japanese Werlyt might be a slightly different story, might be a little better. Might have Gaius apologizing and saying, hey, I hecked up, I'm gonna try to amend my wrongs, like at the beginning. He's in Korean prison. Yeah, the Koreans are a patch behind us. But, so I think they would be just getting the second installment right now. But I think, I haven't seen, mostly the Korean Twitter persons that I follow are, Aardbert fans who just draw pictures. But, I don't see this, I don't see, like, anything about Werlyt. They seem to be ignoring it. Like, the only stuff I've seen there is about farming the extremes and not the... Not the story. Welcome back, Olivia, and congratulations on another hard-earned victory. Was it really? Ever since we first heard the news, I've been dying to hear exactly how it all unfolded. So, what can you tell me about this diamond weapon? Well, it eats children. And it didn't actually have any Xenos data in it. It just ate some kids. That face is relatable. By Relger's beard, even for the Empire, that must be a new low. Those poor orphans. I can only pray that the citizens of Werlyt are able to enjoy freedom that Gaius's words gave their lives for. At the very least, we need no longer live in fear of monstrous creations birthed by the Weapons Project. I shall add to your account to our official report. Huh. Finally, on behalf of the Ala Mhigan resistance and the whole of Eorzea for that matter, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. Yep, I kicked some robots. Yay. What are they going to be sending that? God. One good thing about Werlyt is how the way it ties into the plot is just so easy to just clip it out. None of this happened. And then... dead orphan pie mushed and smeared in your face. Yeah. What? There's more? Of course, there's a coda. How great Gaius is. Gross. I saved the worst for last. It gets even worse, doesn't it? His name is on the monument, isn't it? That looks like the Machine Core near spoilers is what that looks like. Uh... This poor kid's probably just sitting here disassociating all night. Gosh. No. Okay, I don't want to spoil the major plot twist of Nier, but the major plot twist of Nier. And then 9S just goes bonkers and nukes the entire place. Ugh. Touching memories. Ghost Orphan. No, the entirety of Werlyt would be improved by the presence of 9S going nutso over this. Just he could take out those weapons in like one hit. He'd just hack them. Gosh, this is a lot of orphans. Aww, she's adorable. Look at them. They're adorable. Deserve better. Oh, great. Look at them wearing their little child-size Imperial uniforms. Oh, Olivia's here! Yay! We can all be friends! Gosh. God. I'm confused. Yeah, this is supposed to be like, oh, how sweet her memories of growing up with her papa and her siblings. Oh, there's Nero. Someone save him. Someone just get him out now. Yeah, I still think that they probably think that he died at Praetorium and Gaius didn't. Because the way that he showed up alongside the other casualties from ARR. Projections from within the synthetic RSI. Yeah, the little bit there with Livia, it felt to me like he was saying, not now, wink wonk. These are his memories, their memories. Not as cute as my other kids, piss off. Yeah. So I've got allergies here. I'm allergic to Gaius. Yay, dead orphans. Isolating Livia too. Yeah, that too. I don't want to live in a world without you. That's why I'm going with you. Oh, now the PTSD orphan is suicidal. Not yet, Allie. Now it's not your time. Father still needs you. Please take care of him in our place. Gosh. No, she... If you're worried about Alfonso, he's got us for company. He's like, father still needs you is not... She needs a moment for herself. We want you to see this new world for yourself. You know, these kids seemed like they were like middle school age when they got taken in by Gaius, not infants, which means that they would remember their birth parents, who died of plague because of Gaius. So why wasn't that brought up in the happy memories? Why doesn't she have like a... Why does she see like a vision of Alphonse's actual dad? Breakdance nonsense. I feel like that could have... She could have like seen a vision of Alphonse's birth parents and been like, everything we've lost! And then nope off to the Conjurer's Guild and say like, help? I'm the only one left. I think you're right, Swilly. They really do think that Nero kicked it at Praetorium. And yeah, the plague is bad timing there. But I'll never be alone. Father. Like, that's canon. Their birth parents died of a plague because the Garleans wouldn't let the local doctors treat them for plague. This is worse than Renji getting Rin back. Okay? This is worse. Like, Renji, he was twisted, but he actually cared about Rin and, like, wished... The whole reason he was throwing with Valkyrie is because he wanted Rin to not die. Whereas Gaius is actively sending these kids to die. So this is even worse than if Rin got sent to Renji and got treated like a good ending. And we're done. Gosh. Alright. I just said in shout chat, I'm Ala Mhigan and I object to Werlyt. See if anyone takes the bait. Yeah, Renji was cool with how evil Valkyrie was because he saw Valkyrie as being the only chance for Rin to not get it by Sin Eaters, because all the other Menphilias went out and fought and died, presumably as children, fighting Sin Eaters, and he saw Valkyrie as a break from that tradition, so he was okay. Yeah, he's lesser of two evils. I see Renji as a little bit sympathetic character, actually, a little bit of a sympathetic villain there. That's just me, but like, he's a better dad than Gaius because his goal is to have not dead children, and Gaius's goal is to send them in as cannon fodder brainwash them until they go in as cannon fodder. And so I guess they do the same thing. They get the kids up and running to go die, but Valkyrie does it because he sees no other option and he wants to break that cycle, and Gaius does it, or Valkyrie, Ranjit does it because he sees no other option and wants to break that cycle, but Gaius does it because that is his modus operandi, despite there being gazillions of other options, like all his adult conscripts, and he has clearly demonstrated no desire to break that cycle. He was given more orphans and started the recruitment speech right off the bat, without even asking their names. Yeah. Gaius and Renji as shard mates. Renji got the nicer half. Yeah. Of late, all I can think about is weapons, weapons, weapons. I channel this passion into crafting homages to my favorite war machina, which is more than a mere hobby. It's the wind in my sails. Just give me the dragon. An excellent choice. I'll have it ready in a jiffy. Here it is, the most formidable of all weapons, one that requires no introduction. Having said that, I'll give one regardless. Let me begin with its alternate name. AEWIZ. Like other models, it is an anti-icon war machina. I is a numerical... Oh, this would be 1, I guess. Is a numeral indicating that it belongs to the first series of prototype. Z seems to imply that it's the final version. This is merely conjecture on my part, but the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald weapons appear to have been designed from the outset to gather data for making improvements to the Diamond weapon. Yeah, all you guys can now skip these cutscenes. I'm skipping them on Ostercat. But that's not all. The Diamond weapon was equipped with a certain element that the other models lacked. This enabled it to reach its final perfected stage, and it is the nature of this element that troubles me. Even after reading the reports, I'm still having trouble coming to terms with the sacrifices made in the name of the weapons project. Perhaps we should give a moment of silence for the young lives lost. I suffer things so you guys don't have to. Gosh, it was bad. How is that so bad? How is that so bad? I was planning to give the sculpture to the people of Werlyt as a reminder of the brave souls whose deeds eventually led to the independence from the Empire. As with my previous work, the sculpture can also be used to reenact your encounter with the weapon. I hope it will prove useful in preparing for whatever the future holds in store. Just give me a dragon. What's weird to me is that how many people are involved in making a quest arc in this. And the people who do the animations and design the landscape and do the battle mechanics probably have zero say in the story, or very, very little. But so many people, it's probably written by a team, not a single author. Like, there'll be a lead writer and then sub-writers. And then it's translated and localized by teams for English, Japanese original. So it's got English, German, French, Korean, and Chinese. How did no one on those teams go, huh, maybe this is bad? This is the worst thing ever, right? The writer is gonna have to fake their deaths before their name hit the credits, yeah. Gosh. What's funny, though, is that whoever wrote Werlyt probably has written other parts of the game that are perfectly fine. He's probably written, completely normal fetch quests that are just like, go kill 10 ladybugs. Did you know that ladybug juice can be used as a cosmetic? Yay! And maybe little bits of lore things here and there, or maybe even something good, but just completely dropped the ball here. I do wonder how much is just English and how much of it is the same in other languages. So really, you're gonna have to suffer and go find out how bad the Japanese is. I get Vanny to suffer some of the Japanese too. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. I need to go get dinner, and then I'm gonna go skip Ostercat through that and unlock the Savage for him. So. Thank you for our wonderful, wonderful stream. I will end on a good note. Wonderful fish. And look at all this devastation that was his intention. Gosh, why did they have to set it in the locks? Like, Olivion's backstory is he grew up in the city of Ala Mhigan, and it's all right here. This is extra bonus to make me suffer. Okay, I'm off. Thank you guys for suffering with me. That was wild.